So emergency 911, as I realized I took notes throughout court, and I had paperwork that Eric D presented, not Genos financials, other paperwork, and my paperwork with my financial situation that has my social security numbers and my kids. Well, I know what happened to it. So I was browbeat in court as usual, not always as usual, but oftentimes. And I was browbeat today in court. And I will have to share, I have somewhere where I shared about Hope, who was the magistrate. She was horrible to me. Now, Monique MEARS was not horrible. It was just what she allowed to happen that is horrible. Now, I went before Monique today. So Eric is like coming at me like brutal, you know, I guess because I don't know why. Gina's sitting there all spiky hair, all nice looking, like, or trying to look nice for me. And I'm just like this because I just don't give a fuck at this point. So anyways, but emergency 911 is, I don't have my paperwork. My paperwork, my little manila folder, that file folder that I had all of my stuff in, took all of my notes from court today, was ganked off of me when I was using the bathroom after court. I did not realize this at the time because I had just been browbeat. If anyone knows what that means, you know what I'm talking about. I went through this with my brother and my niece. I was browbeat, I thought, but it just continues. So anyways, so I know what that is. I know what they're doing because I was already told it happened to me when it did happen to me, and now it's happening again. So this is what browbeat looks like. This is how I'm feeling. I'm sure you get a sense of how I'm feeling. However, it can look way worse, but now I'm just used to rolling through the punches. So anyways, he's lying about his financials. Eric D straight up refused to give him over. Then she said on the record, which I did call her out on this, that I would be able to look at them. I would be able to look at them. So court goes on. Eric D is like, how long do you have today? Monique MEARS, or, you know, like he's planning on being there for, we were there for like 2 hours, okay, of this bullshit ridiculousness. Why we're talking about all this other stuff for spousal support, me protesting, our custody situation, all of these details about my criminal cases, I don't know. So anyways, however, I did have so I'm trying to explain, you know, I've had these charges, these simple assault, which I will add about the simple assault, strangulation charges over my head since day one. I mean, it's why I got the PFA, and we told all about that day and night. He's straight up lying. Like, he's just a liar. So when I tried to get the court transcript from his first testimony on the stand, over here at the magistrate's office, they told me it was not recorded, which I was told by an attorney that is a lie. By law, they have to record it. So I don't have that transcript, but I'm pretty sure that's the day that he says that I jumped up in the air and was hanging from his neck, okay? However, he gave a story today, and he says he is going to testify against me. I asked him if he was harmed. He says he was. I asked if he sought medical treatment. He says he didn't. I asked him if he took my son to a football game right after he picked me up from jail, him and the kids from Murraysville jail, 2 hours later. He doesn't recall. He doesn't recall anything. And now he's trying to say that he doesn't own this excavator because he don't want me getting any of it, and he's lying. And we went all about why he lost his previous jobs, because she's wondering how he's saying he made $74,000, but way less than that on his taxes. But I don't know. So later, because, you know, his expenses, which he is already using as deductions anyways, I'm sure. So, like, how did your income drop over $150,000 a year? And that's just what's on taxes, because we all know, I do, that you make more elsewhere, side jobs and whatever else you're doing. Like I called out today, I had asked him if he's a drug dealer still. Are you still selling cocaine and pounds of weed, you know, because I'm told that you are here in town. So anyways, oh, so many different avenues in my brain. He says he's going to go with the strangulation story that he was, which Attorney Galloway loves the story. He thinks it's hilarious. That he, oh, and Mark Gochon, I should say, thinks this is fucking hilarious. And he heard about this story hanging out at the club, Dr. Mark Gochon, where all the judges and attorneys and whoever else hangs out. He took me there once. And they were all watching my videos as they were going down, and they all think this is crazy. And he told me he already knew that this guy said he was burritoed in bed, and that he couldn't get out of the bed because he was burritoed by his blanket. So basically, that's the story that he told today, that he was asleep in bed, laying there, and that I jumped on him and started choking him. I was actually writing down word for word everything he was saying right then, because I want to know that I jumped on him and that I started choking him then. And that it took him a minute to get him off of me. And then I was yelling, "You were cheating on me, you were cheating on me," he says. And then he ran out of the room. And then I chased him, and then he called the police. He went downstairs and called the police, which is not what happened. And so, but let's say it did happen. That's why people are laughing, you know, because what the fuck is your problem, dude? You're ruining her life on purpose. It's extremely obvious. So then Eric D is trying to say that I pleaded guilty to simple assault already. No, I didn't. If you would like to read all about that, I already posted. It's public information about my Superior Court case with this. And it's all going to trial. And I cannot help. It's been hanging over for years now. So then Monique asked if they're going to trial together or separately. And I said, I don't know. We may end up taking them together. You know, we'll have to see how this plays out. So then, you know, he's bitching about me saying I'm picking it at Gino's house. I've never picked it at my house. And they're keeping my kids from me. What do they want me to do? So I'm exercising my freedom of speech, and they better leave me alone about it. Everyone in that courthouse better stop infringing on my freedom of speech and my First Amendment right. Stop it. It's time to stop, because everybody knows why I'm doing this at this point. And this is an impossible, abusive situation. So then he shows me a picture of my Holistic Oracle page on my Instagram and wants me to explain what it is and how it says paid reading. Well, I do say paid reading. It's a hobby of mine. I could probably try to make money off of it, but I've never been able to. I've never really put it out there. Gino's never wanted me to, just like we talked about me teaching online today. And he would slam my computer down and try to ruin everything. That's when we were together. He doesn't want me making money. I say paid reading, and if anybody wants one, I'll do one, but I'm not really advertising that. I don't even really use it that much. It's just a hobby of mine. And if I didn't say paid reading, I've had this long enough to know people are going to be IMing me all day long wanting a free reading. And I already went through that, and it's annoying, okay? So if they want a reading, they're going to pay for it, but I don't advertise that. It's just on my main page. I've never advertised really anything paid for my cards, but I could and I should. And it's always something that I'm thinking about in the back of my brain, but really it's just something that I enjoy as a hobby. And I explained that these are cards that he has bought me for many years, and then when he has a temper tantrum like he did, that's why he's not an inspector anymore. Maybe that's why he's saying he'll be an inspector in the future when a new company comes to town, because he's already ruined his chances with his temper at every other company here. So, and I said in my Holistic Oracle, he would buy me my cards, and then he would get mad at me and throw a temper tantrum, throw them off the deck, throw them in the air, whatever he's going to do, call me a witch, blah, blah, blah. So there's that. Then, and I can't get a good job because of these charges. He's wanting to say, were you teaching? Were you, okay. He said I was making $25 an hour. No, I wasn't. It was like 18 or 19, and I still would be doing it if I could. But I have charges over my head. I can't even do Uber Eats, which none of these jobs that I can get with my charges are technically safe jobs for a woman, delivering pizza, bartending, blah, blah, blah. Like, at this point in my life, really, let's think about it. So, but a mom's got to do what a mom's got to do in this situation. So anyways, back to the paperwork. I'm browbeat. I'm discombobulated, leaving court, pissed off. These people are horrible humans. Just throw them in the pot of dum-dum suckers, right? I need to get a bigger vase. So I go to the bathroom, and I should know better. This is my fault, because they watch me on cameras like a hawk there, and I've told many stories of the times I've been fucked with going in and out of the courthouse. So when I go to the bathroom and I take my paperwork, I always leave it like on the sink. Some floors have a chair, and I don't take it back into the stall with me usually. I left the courtroom today. They say my paperwork is not in there. I went straight to the bathroom on that floor. Went to the restroom in the stall. I assume I sat my paperwork down, and what I think and believe happened is because somebody did come in, somebody came in, they know my habits because they watch me on camera, and even though you're not supposed to have cameras in the bathrooms, they probably do, and swiped my paperwork. And I left discombobulated after being browbeat and didn't even realize it. I don't know. I'm going to have to find out where the paperwork is. I didn't go anywhere else. I drove straight. Walked straight to my car. So it's in the court. I've searched my entire car. I've searched everywhere. I called. They don't have it. Of course, they're lying. But they probably wanted all of my notes. They wanted to see what they were and didn't want me to be able to then read them out loud. But the deputies that were in there today messing with me and antagonizing me and trying to intervene in my discussion here today. Her name was Winnick, I think, W-N-E-K, and then his name was Jacob Schaefer, because I asked them their names, and I do remember. So, and then, I also said that Judge Benoni has denied over and over that she did not ever take away my spousal support, and she never denied me ever reapplying. She says that in court testimony. However, I've been denied reapplying, and it says in there based on my actions against my husband, which is so-called strangling him. And she says she never did that. And on top of it, I already had my kids, and I was already getting spousal support for 1 year, and I should be getting another 2 years. I was getting $1,200 a month in spousal, which Eric D doesn't remember what he was getting. But Eric D said then later I asked for the exhibits, if I didn't say this already, because she said I could look at his financials. I couldn't make a copy because that's probably, I should be able to, but they wouldn't allow me. And then later she said I couldn't even look at them. So we're going over all this other shit. Well, I still want to look at them. So now she's saying I can't even look at them. I said, well, you just said on the record, like however long ago, 20 minutes ago, half hour ago, that I could look at them. And she said, well, but then Eric refused to hand them over. So you're telling me, this is so corrupt, it's disgusting. I'm trying to think. If there's anything else I missed, I will try to cover it again, but I think you get the gist of it.